Boom, boom, and we're live. It is a Thursday. It is the Modern Fowler Scrum. We're here. We've got Jan and Thomas and Piotr and myself, Sam, Joseph. And so what is going on? What was going on yesterday was that Michael and I were working on the static site and the blog for AV. We were indeed middlemaning, GitHubbing, and this, that, and the other. We've sort of cleaned that up, and that's looking sort of stable now. I think the next steps are getting more technical for setting up continuous deployment and other things like that. We also cleaned up the sign-up bug fix for website 1, and that's a pull request. So that's nice. I'm hoping that later today that's going to lead us on to working on a recurring payment mechanism for Agile Ventures. We will see. On the MOOC side of things, I'm getting this. edX is very keen with the self-paced version of the course, which I think is not going to work. So I think there's going to have to be some negotiation there. We're just trying to get the MOOC all ready for release on Monday. And then local support, got lots of lovely new pull requests, a couple of them merged in. I have just been working on one of Piotr's, and I've got some things to push into the branch that I think will hopefully allow us to merge everything in. Yeah, that's about the size of it from me. Thomas, how are things going with you?
Not much to report on the AV side. As I mentioned before, the stand-up, we are working with middleman in Agile Ventures, and it's amazing. It's an amazing framework to build static sites, and I'm preparing to take things up a notch for the weekend into the middleman side as well. So there's a middleman blog jam that they will be challenged with researching and implementing in their site. So it's pretty fun, And next week we're going to work with some legacy code and making them.
I just said, Thomas, your audio is kind of coming and going. You might want to switch off your camera in order to boost the audio feed. I don't seem to be able to do that from the control room. Maybe we have lost Thomas. Ah, there we go. Yeah, so you're saying it's legacy code and so on next week.
We're gonna fight with covering some refactoring some spaghetti code and covering it with tests. It's gonna be
excellent.
Fun.
Good stuff. And things going well with you, Jan?
Yes, I have learned something about middleman and struggle mostly with the CSS.
We lost.
Yeah, and I think we may have lost audio from there. We will perhaps come back to.
All right, move on, guys.
Okay, because Piotr, great to hear from you, Jan. Good luck with the CSS. It is a lot of spaghetti by its very nature. Piotr, yes, how are things going with you?
So fine. So I see that you've made some comments to my new markers. So I may change it, of course, but mostly these hound comments are not to my changes, that are like to the legacy.
Okay.
But if you want, I can change it, of course.
Sure. Yeah. No. Well, it's okay. I'm often it is. It's sort of. Well, we can have a look at that again. But yeah, it's not the hound is an automated thing, so don't worry too much about it.
Yeah, no, but if you want, I can do it. But in fact, it's not what I changed, because these all the things that Hound is commenting were already there. So
right. Although I guess it shouldn't make any comments unless there was actually changes to that file or to nearby, or is it actually just going completely crazy? That's
no. It's like I changed these lines, but like the things that were wrong were already there. I just changed.
Oh sure, yes. Oh no, I mean there's a lot of things like we're trying to introduce it, but I guess I'm not looking at the right thing here. If we look for a hound comment, no. So this is the. I'm just fixing. Well, I'm just working through. This is the other one. So for example, this is your code here, but this is the custom thing. So I was actually just fixing that in my own local system for you, but if we look at the pull request from the map marker icons, yeah, so here, but so this is this code that you made no changes? But you made a change to that line. But yes,
Yeah.
you certainly you didn't use the double quotes. No, right. So that's indeed. But so it's so you're certainly not required to do that, since that's obviously there. But it's an opportunity to try and bring the code base into line with the coding standards. So if you've got a spare moment for that, then that's a handy thing to do. But
here, for example, I would need to change the names of methods because they are long here. That's why the line is so long.
Yes, well, I mean, it's sort of, there's a process of sort of like relating to what Jan and Thomas were talking about. Of you've got legacy code that's kind of spaghetti and sort of working on clearing that up. I was actually just going through a process of on your code here and doing a series of like minor cleanups on the how comments there. But yeah. So, and anything else? What else is on your mind at the moment, Piotr?
So I'll start with the new task today.
Yes.
So I didn't do that yesterday. I just cleaned the 2 pull requests that are already there.
Yes.
And I'll start with a new one.
Yes, the one we talked about yesterday, which is the kind of that funny what we're not sure about the bug. It might be for the admin framework and the way in which the users use the system. Yeah. Great.
Guys,
yes.
We're gonna drop off now before you go on into too deep into local support. But thank you very much for this stand-up.
Yeah, no, always good to see you. We're just going to go on to Puneet now, but yeah, have a great day, Thomas and Jan.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers. Okay, hey Puneet, how are you doing?
Yes, I'm good.
Good show.
It's just a bit. Yeah, it's just a bit difficult. Means when you don't have Slack channel and the website doesn't show up for doesn't show the Hangout link. So I literally had to copy the whole link from the mobile to the desktop.
Right. So you say you don't have Slack?
Means right now using the Slack means I can only use Slack in the evening, means because of the firewall.
Okay, so you can't use Slack. And you're saying that the website didn't update with the link to the Hangout?
No.
Well, I think we have a bug there, because it should have done. But so we've got the Martin Fowler Scrum there is live. Let's just go.
Oh, okay. That might be my mistake actually. I haven't logged in.
We've got this here.
I didn't know that. No. But behavior is same. It still doesn't show up even for the logged in user.
No, it doesn't. And that's quite a serious bug then, in as much as, I mean, that's supposed to be. There's supposed to be a click to join for that, and if we look at the.
In fact, I experienced it before because I was going through Slack, but I tried to go through the site and I didn't see any link to that.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know if that's. I mean, I've now used the manual override so that's sorted. Oh yeah. Brief. Yeah, and so it goes into that state. So for some reason it didn't. Yeah, I mean the connections that we've basically got there's these 2 components in the Google Hangout. That is, the Google Hangout is supposed to talk back to the website and say, one, okay, update this, put the status to be live, and the second one is to update through the Slack. And clearly the Slack one worked. I can have a little look in.
You can join through this. I tried now.
Yeah.
So through the main page, if you get the home page, but then if you go to the project show page or the Hangout show page, there is no join link.
When you go to, you mean the event show page?
Yeah, like here. I don't see the join now. You see it, but I don't.
Try refreshing the page.
I just entered now.
I can see it after the refresh.
Yeah, I mean, what I did.
Yeah, now I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. What I did while we were talking was I just went into edit Hangout link here, and I just I manually updated it through this mechanism here.
Oh.
And what that means is, so we've got this. I mean, I've got a manual override. I've got 2 levels of manual override for that. Oh dear. Yeah. Anyway, so there's various different pieces of problems there. I mean, what we've got. I mean, I've got here. This is the console log from the Hangout itself. I don't know that any of those errors are related, but I'm going to take a copy of that. But so I've got so the thing there we've got. If we go to website 1, okay. So let's create an issue, which we've got new issue for bug, and it's a UX bug. Main site not updating when Hangout goes live. Not sure. So is this a problem that you have regularly every time, or just on this occasion?
I think it's the 3rd time that I'm seeing this issue.
Okay.
And I've seen it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think
not quite sure about the. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly something that's happened in the past. Yeah, and I guess the question in my mind is it due to like an occasional network timeout between the Hangout plugin and our site, or is it something more serious? The fact that the Slack thing is working implies that not sure. Well, so.
One strange thing with what happened today is that on Slack I have information about canned Beck Scrum.
Oh, really?
Yeah, canned Beck Scrum, 3:45 p.m. But when you click it, we get here.
Okay, so maybe that actually there's a problem. Yeah, that I have started the wrong one. Okay, so. But I thought. Yeah. Okay. Gosh. Well, this is. I mean, this is not dissimilar to the issue that we're looking at there, Piotr, for local support. Is that sometimes there is a sort of a whole question of, is it a failure in the system in the way that the system, intended, or just did a user do something that was wrong in the first instance, and then but actually is that due to some underlying mismatch between the model of the user has of the way the system works and the way the okay, so we've got lots of those. So okay, so today seems like I accidentally started the Kent Beck Scrum, or I don't even know that I started the Kent. Goodness me, the Kent Beck Scrum, or did I? At least the Martin Fowler time, somehow we ended up with the Martin Fowler Scrum.
Yes, I didn't notice that. I got the notification for Kent actually.
Yeah, was this operator error on my part, or something else?
Definitely.
Something else going on, or is there a deeper issue with the website 1 Scrum Live update? For reference, here are the issues that were in the Hangout console. Yeah, yes, goodness. And so I think that the big thing, the bigger picture here is that the process of making good software is a lot about kind of working through all these different kinds of issues and trying to gradually mold the model that the system uses to minimize the amount of operator errors and to best support and scaffold the users. And it can be a long and tricky path, as you are seeing. Okay. I guess I was going to take like a text version of that. I don't think it's actually that. Those things may or not be important, but the fact that we've got a lot of them is somewhat worrying. Text version of above image. Okay. Did I do comment? Why is that not worked? That's worked. Okay. So sorry, Puneet. Yes. Apologies for your the trouble coming in there, but that may be an interesting issue that needs solving and has lots of philosophical ramifications about many different things. How are things with you otherwise?
Otherwise, it's fine. I'll try to attempt the issue of changing the banner on the website one for Mentive. So yeah, there is no blocking issue at the moment. There's one pull request pending.
Yeah, that's great. Fantastic. Okay. Okay. So there we are. We've created the issue there. I guess just to go back to what we were talking about before, Piotr, with local support. I'm just on the cusp of having. So I've been reviewing the pull requests this morning for local support. I pulled in one from Marwan that allow us to what's it called, to get the Heroku automatic deploys working again. We shall see. I just made a separate pull request here related to some of these things we were talking about yesterday, which is these additional files, and put some notes in there of that. I basically went through a process of cleaning out my own local system before working on the friendly edit. Definitely the map marker thing is looking good. I think we could pull that in. Yes, I guess actually if you'd prefer to like not worry about it, as you say, the differences there are ones like you were making changes to that file, but your kind of like the double quote there is an existing thing that you didn't introduce. It was there already. Would you rather that I just merge this straight in with that?
So I don't know. If you want, I can change things, but there are a lot of things like that in the files.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I think putting it that way, I think I'm going to merge it in because I think I just want to get it in there. Although I may create problems for myself in the other. So let's get that done. I think because I think it would be more interesting for you to be working on that new problem than it would be to work through that. So don't worry about that.
And with the other one, is there any problem?
No, I don't think there's anything for you to do. What I just did was I pulled out, and there was some very minor little things that I just had done locally here that we can possibly. If I just do git diff here, will we see the changes that I made? I just went through, and there were some like sort of trailing line endings on the end of some files that were creating, like diffs that were not really needed. I went through and I just sort of did a few things there. I adjusted some comments, removed some other ones. I just changed this in the string spec there. Rather than referring to this thing as org, I started calling it name in preparation for sort of pulling out the concept of a name in future, not doing that now. We had some sort of trailing comments from, our big discussion of unit tests versus acceptance tests and so on. So here I end up with, so that's sort of done. I just need to check that that all passes the tests, and then I was going to push that in and merge that in. So we should have your two pull requests merged in.
Yay!
Yay! And I so for Puneet, I pinged Raul about the pull request, and so he's gonna. I think it should be fine, and he's gonna check that later today. Yeah, good stuff. So I think that's our stand up. Excuse me. Anything else that we need to work out before we?
So can I have a question?
Yeah. Well, yes. Go ahead.
Like I've heard that you are creating the blog static site on Ghost. Is it already published? Can I see it?
Oh, you can. Yeah. Well, it's sort of I've done a very soft launch for it. It's actually if you work through this week's materials of AV102, you come to a point where I mention the blog, but you can both certainly have a look at
like that. Okay.
Blog there.
Nice.
And I have also a question because Thomas was talking about middlemen. So
yes.
Is it something similar? Are there any differences between middleman and Ghost?
Yes, well there are, and so this one here. So if you go to showcase.agileventures.org, this is a middleman site here, and you can see the code for that at we've got that in AV static website here, and so Ghost is using Node.js, whereas middleman is using Ruby. So you know they're somewhat different in that regard. Middleman, I think, is a really interesting tool in that it what it has in it is effectively it's like you just take the front end off a Rails or a Sinatra app and you use only that. So it's got like ERB files that we're kind of used to, and this kind of Ruby syntax that pulls stuff in. But basically, it hasn't got any back end. There's no database. And what it has as well, you have sort of a data thing, so you can kind of stick. Effectively, you can have the equivalent of kind of models, but they're basically static models, right? So you can see here we've got different projects for our showcase. And so what happens is the way middleman works is that you kind of you run a middleman script which runs Ruby, and it takes everything in the source directory and also refers to things in the data directory, and then it generates a static site, which oh, that's interesting. There. So this is the result, and here it's pushed to the GH pages branch so that it appears on the showcase. So there's kind of like a compile step that runs the Ruby and compiles all of the HTML and the CSS and the and merges it with the data as appropriate, but then creates this static site for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and you think the Ghost one is better suiting for static sites?
Well, Ghost is specifically for blogging. So what we've done here, we've used, and this is a fairly common pattern, I would say, is that you've got your static site, which is kind of your front, like your landing page, because it will load really fast in GH pages, and then your blog. Like, in order to make the blog easier for people to submit things to, you'll do that in Ghost, or you might do. I mean, there's WordPress, or there's any number of blogging engines. But so we happen to now have imported the same style into our blog, so it looks the same as the static site.
So you're using, like, for the first page, you're using middleman, yeah? Like
no,
for showcase?
No, we're just what we're doing is remember my what's my sign in for that? I've forgotten. Anyway, I don't know.
Or is it that the middleman is completely static and Ghost is not completely static because it allows to blog?
Yeah, I mean, Ghost is like an app, and we've got that running on Heroku. And what we've done is we've just taken the compiled styles from the middleman thing, and we've got a separate. So we've got, this is our Ghost on Heroku, and then we've got an AV. We've got a theme for Ghost that includes some style sheets that is the same style sheets from the middleman. So the two sites happen to look the same, but one of them is a. So we've got this one. This is a. It's generated by middleman and through a compile step, but the static stuff is then deployed to GH pages. Which is just a branch in your GitHub repo, whereas the blog here is what's the word?
So you used middleman to create a bit also a blog, in fact.
Well, the style for the blog.
Yeah, the style.
Yeah, whereas and this is.
But the style is also like generated, or you have to do everything manually.
Well, at the moment we've just taken the compiled as sort of a base template. We've taken the Ghost still requires kind of manual things. It doesn't have like a CSS preprocessor and so on. And if I'm able to sign in here, oh god, I think I did my restart and then I've lost the. I say forgot. There. Okay. Well, I think I've locked myself out of my blog. But anyway, there we go.
It happens all the time with so many passwords.
Yes, it's annoying that I don't seem to have that saved. Yes. So in the background, anyway. I hope that answers your questions. A lot of the pairing that I'm doing with Michael has been focused on this, middleman and Ghost and the different bits and pieces. And we're kind of, I don't know, Punit's heard a lot about, but the idea to create this static site is to have a landing page for people who, are charities who might want to get stuff built through Agile Ventures. And so we have, a sort of a speedy loading site specifically for them, and an associated blog, more for that, different kind of user compared to the, the main Agile Ventures site, which is, focused on developers. But though it's sort of, I think it's a common pattern to sort of mix and match with these different things in order to, try and best support the needs of different users.
Okay. Now I understand. Interesting.
Cool. Yes, well, we'll see. I mean, I guess you haven't got much time left before I forgot what it's called now. Your new job starts, but you might. I mean, we'll see how it goes with local support, and maybe at some point in the future you might be interested in collaborating on some of these other sites and other technologies.
So you have this as another project?
Yeah, it's website 2. So
this is website 2.
And there's website 2 as well.
Okay.
Good stuff. Anyway, yeah, I guess I should. Any other questions or thoughts for the moment?
No.
Nope.
No, good stuff. All right, I'll catch up with you guys later. I'll just try and get your other PR merged in, Piotr, and just do reach out as you kind of grapple with that, user admin.
Okay. We'll see what.
Okay. All right. Take care, guys. Bye for now.
Bye bye.